Hello, my name is Zane Tumble, and this is my critical reading analysis for technical writing. My specific piece that I am analyzing is the door operator installation and adjusting manual for the MOVFR garage door. I'd like to apologize for the coughing. It will probably happen a lot more. I have a bit of a cold right now. Firstly, at the top of this page, it says the company that is making the product and making this specific manual. It's the GAL Manufacturing Company Corporation. This corporation, like I said, they are the ones in charge of making this garage door. In doing so, they want a lot more people to buy that for it. So a big part of that is making this guide. If people are unable to know how to install their product, they're much less likely to buy it. As for specifics on who most likely wrote this, it's probably a engineer at the company who has a lot of knowledge on the door operator in order to tell people how to install it. The purpose of this document is relayed really well on this forward. As it says, is the intent of this manual to give the reader certain key points of information prior to the door operator, and it's hoped that this manual will reduce the installation and adjustment time. Essentially, what they want to do is that they want to teach the people who are installing the door operator how to do so. This will be done using very concise language that most likely a trained professional with door operators will learn how to use, would understand, as we'll see further on. And further with the author, it says that the GAL operator will give many years of trouble-free service. In doing this, they're trying to convince the reader that they should buy this and install it, because if they install it, they will not have to fix it for years to come, especially if they install it correctly, which is another goal of this paper. There's a quick table of context which shows the layout. They try to get the initial stuff out of the way first, such as the illustration of the MOVFR operator, as we'll see. Then it goes into a little bit more detail about the rest of the installation process. As you can see here, they use a lot of detailed pictures in this, especially a lot of visuals in order to explain the process. As I scroll further down, you'll see much more visuals. This is very useful in an installation guide. Without any of these, there's no way for really understanding what is being done. I believe there's a amazing data to ink ratio, because you can't really explain a picture. A picture is worth 1,000 words. So it's a lot easier for the reader to know what to do if they're able to see a picture such as this, especially with everything being properly labeled and it being explained in detail right above it. The tone of this text is very to the point. It just tells the user what to do. For example, here it says to make this adjustment, turn the device pulley toward the open direction by hand. They're not trying to they're not trying to entice the user. Their just main goal is to make them understand how to do this. This is typically done in the third person. It's not saying you do it. It is just saying that the whoever is needing will do it. The grammar in this, it's very detailed and uses a bunch of words such as the dry pulley, crank arm, specifics of the machine that you may be a lot more difficult to understand if a professional wasn't reading this, which is one reason why I mentioned that I believe the audience is specifically towards somebody who's building a house or is well versed in machinery, who is installing this in order to use. As for the rhetorical choices in this piece, the author wants every piece of information on the page to have some information. There's almost no fluff involved in order to add to the length or something, and there is no reason to appeal to emotional or ethical appeals, because it is simply installing a product. As you can see here, almost every piece of information on this page is used to describe either a part of the operator or what the installer of the operator should do to install it, such as here it explains that the crank arm determines the total door travel, and further on it provides detailed information for how they should adjust the operator. Finally, as for the layout, having it on a concise page like this allows for the user to quickly scroll up and down or look up and down on a page in order to get a real feel for every piece of what they need to do. Also, these graphs that are placed at the very bottom have very detailed information that is able to be understood only by someone who has read through this document and understands it and will be very versed in this type of knowledge. This is one reason why the gatekeepers will want to make sure that the knowledge is complex so that the installers will know and trust this company and not mess up and possibly cause a lawsuit to the company.